for Environment and Post-Government, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Water Resources, the line directors of the ministry, the distinguished gentlemen of the fourth ring of climate forest. You are welcome to this brief briefing to the people of Kogi State on what they should know about what we've been doing, what we have done, and what our people will expect in terms of water supply in Kogi State. Today is 31st of May 2024, exactly 4 months we were inaugurated into the cabinet, and I resumed on 1st of February with a task, with an instruction, with a directive by His Excellency to go and do whatever we think we can do within the shortest possible time to ameliorate the suffering of our people in terms of water supply. Now, coming to water in Lokoja and the state, we may not or we cannot understand the situation today without having some background information, especially about Greater Lokoja Water Treatment Plant. The Greater Lokoja Water Treatment Plant, to the glory of God, is one of the best in the country. It has an installed capacity to treat and produce 10 million gallons of water per day if it is being run for 20 hours. And there is a provision for expansion to 15 million gallons of water per day. However, we have to note the following without giving blame to anyone. The project itself, ab initio, was not completed. It was a project, it was a work in progress. As a result, let me go back a little bit about the location of the project itself. When we design such facilities and locate them, there are essential parameters we consider before we can locate them. As far as those parameters are concerned, as at 2009-2010, that facility was located at the bank of that water body, River Niger. It was in order. We will get there. It was in order. For location purpose, close to such a free water body, we need hydrological data of minimum of 50 years. So we use between 50 to 100 years. From available records, as at 2010, well-kept hydrological data obtained from National Inland Waterways, that of 86 years was used. 1914 to 2010 was used as at that time, which was in order. Overall, not even the least level of the location of that facility will be flooded. So that was what informed the location of the facility at the bank of that river. So, unfortunately, Kogi State happens to be the first among the 36 states to now feel the real impact of climate change. The 2022 flood broke all records from 1914 to 2010. No such flood have existed. By 1914, we don't have Ladro Dam, we don't have Kainji Dam, we don't have Jeba Dam, neither do we have Roro Dam, or recently Jingeru Dam. These are the dams that supply water, that releases, that embark water, impound water, along the Niger Benue Trough. So by 1914, you will all agree with me that the data we have in between 1914 and up to 1960 is sufficient. But the 2022 flood came and broke all records, which is due to climate change and depletion of the ozone layer. So, going forward from there, the 2022 flood came without notice. It was a still flood, not flash flood. It is a still flood. So, still flooding are more difficult to control. Now, in the facility, you have about 2, 3, 4 critical sections, the most critical being 2. That is the high lift pump station and the chemical dosing room. Yes, they are equipments that are installed to treat water, but they are electromechanical equipment that must not be submerged. These facilities were submerged for about 8 weeks. And in every water treatment facility, the most prized section of that area is the high lift pump station. Because whatever you do in the water treatment facility, it is the high lift pump station that pump the treated water to our homes. So, and this is where you have the most expensive single equipment. The facility has 8 planes with 6 of such pumps installed. 4 of them have to be engaged at a time to give us the delivery we need. The 6 high lift pumps each has delivery head of 118 meters, 625 cubic meters of water per hour combined together. That was what will bring water to our tank A. So now these facilities were submerged for about 8 weeks. So, and as at that time, not now, as at that time, 2022, each of these pumps just cost alone is not less than 350 million. We have 6 of them, and as at the time we came on board, only 1 is functional, and you need 3 of them. You need to engage minimum of 3. But for optimal performance, 4 of them have to be engaged at the time to work. 2 will be standing by. So we have to revise a little bit backward that the facility is self-diagnostic, fully automated, one of the best in the country, with local sensors communicating with themselves and with a central command and control center. This, I'm telling you, were all damaged by the flood. None is functional. So, in summary, right from the intake to the chemical dosing room, which is installed, which has 15 pumps. 15 divided by 3, you have 5. They are handling 5 chemicals. Do 1 has been banned by the Federation. We have only, what is the answer? We have only 4 chemicals: alum, chlorine, HTA, water, 4 of the chemicals. Of these 12 pumps we need, 10 are out of service as at the time we came. So, now without going into much technical details, we have both from the intake down, the chemical dosing room down, the high lift center down, the air blower down, gone, the filtration unit too down. So this is humongous sum of money, and fixing it will require about 3 major stages. The first major stage is technical evaluation, which will require us to know what happened, how do we go about it, how do we forestall future. The major issue we are talking about now has to do with flood. So, the government cannot just go in, sink these billions, and now tomorrow the flood comes back. Flood mitigation measures have to be adopted. Because the 2012 flood came, and ordinarily, before we can have that type of flood until after 50 or 100 years. But because of the climate change we are talking about, 10 years later, we have a still flood that doubles that of 2012. And just sincerely this year, NIMET has already given us a warning that we may likely experience another flood this year. So, the fixing has to include flood mitigation measures, which, to the glory of God, a fresh research and scientific work, engineering and scientific work have to start. The pumps we are having all over the country, and almost 90-95% of the world, that is the high lift pumps, are horizontal. What do you mean by horizontal? Your clear well, where you have the treated water, is down. So the pump has to be placed horizontally to suck and pump up for you. That is what we have everywhere. So in most cases, the clear wells are underground. No trouble. Now, we have 3 options to deal with what we met on ground. The first option is the outright relocation of that facility from that site to the higher ground. The intake may not have much problem. That will cost the state between 120 to 150 billion naira to relocate that facility from that location totally. That is a project of about 12-13 billion. It has an initial cost of 9-point-something billion, and the final cost of about 13-point-something billion. You still have the record. So that was then. The first option is to relocate the facility from there, which will cost the state between 120 to 150 billion without the reticulation. Billion we are talking about. Then the second option is to relocate the 2 major the 2 major flood-prone sections of the facility, which is the chemical dosing room and the high lift pump station, leaving the clear well tank behind. That is the second option. That second option is also in the neighborhood of 70 to 80-90 billion to do that. Now, what is the third option? The third option is to raise the equipment above the last known watermark of 2022. Now, that one comes with its own challenge. We've been able to overcome one. We are left with one, which I believe from today. What I mean by today, we are still having technical brainstorming this evening on the same matter. First is new pumps, not these horizontal pumps. We have the pumps we call VTP, vertical turbine pumps, that we need to deploy there. But the vertical turbine pumps, to have such capacity we need, you have to place order, give them specifications, design, and start building. You have VTPs, but they are smaller pumps in the market. And even your suppliers have to be given time. Ours is to give them specification so that they will manufacture. To do this and to deliver to us, even if Kogi State government has such money today, will take the next 3-4 months to do before they can deliver them. So the second side of it, in the course of the research we are doing, since it is a steel flood, it will come and stay until after some time before it recedes and go. It's not a flash flood. So dike cannot help us. Constructing a dike round cannot solve the problem. You have the issue of backwashing. You have lifted your pumps. Whenever you treat, we have what you call backwashing. You throw the wastewater from the sedimentation and coagulation units. You understand? You will have to throw those ones away. You pump them out. How do you do that? We are going to overcome that between today and Sunday. So that is where we are. Then we now talk of the cost. Initially, because we have a 32-year development plan for the state, which the Ministry of Water Resources is not left out. We have what we are supposed to be implementing, both in budgeting provision and physical execution of projects, in line with that document. So the costs in that document, we are supposed to expand the facility and design, because there is no reticulation design. As I told you, I don't want us to go to too much technical details, that the plant itself is work in progress. The treatment plant was completed with the reservoirs, 2 reservoirs, no reticulation at all. Only transmission line was brought to the 2 reservoirs. Then from there, some measures, 300-400 mm pipe was taken to New Market, 1 came to Zone 8, and that is all. So that of Zone 8 is supposed to loop round to come through House of Assembly and join this one here, then they extend to Army Barrack. But by that document, we are to extend that thing to Welcome to Lokoja, bring it through Zango, come to Army Barrack, pass through Wada Estate, and bust out and return to the plant. So when you have those major, then the other distribution networks now can connect. Then we move into metering and also, full, push sensors where you have command and control centers. Whenever anybody that doesn't have a meter cannot have water, then 2, any tampering with our pipes can easily be detected. But because of cost, let's face the plant itself first and start giving people water. With all this explanation I have made, just one point alone, that is a high lift pump station alone, to bring it fully into capacity, you are committing between 8 to 10 billion to one section only. To put these pumps, just the 6, not the 8, because that expansion I've explained to you will involve additional 2 pumps, where 6 pumps will be working, 2 will be on standby. So now let me draw you back a little bit. If we have this expansion in mind, it means the 118 meters delivery head pump we have there now, with delivery volume of 625 cubic meter per hour, we have to scale it up now. So the specification we're going to give these people, will they approve that? Nothing less than 130 meters delivery head pump will be needed. The 315 kilowatt 2 can still do power with that, because it may involve additional reservoirs and booster stations. So, having said that, the timeline for completion of the treatment plant itself will not be less than 11-12 months. All the technical, the companies will be engaged, including CGC, who are the designers and executors of the contract in the first instance, does not have, with every pressure we are giving, does not have less than 12-13 months timeline for the completion of the project. That is if we engage them today. We have another company that is saying 18 months or no deal, because they cannot come and tell us lies. Because I said we will not go too much into technical details. Why I said the project is still a work in progress. The transmission line from the plant itself to the tank A that is carrying water, the main riser, supposed to be dedicated to sending water straight to the reservoir only. But here we are, because that government was in a hurry to deliver water to the people. There was no returning water to Ganaja. So everybody that is from Ganaja up to Ganaja to Dunamis to Ganaja Junction is tapping from the main riser. So we will have to give another tap back, another pipe. You have to lay another fresh pipe back to Ganaja, and this time around and beyond. We have to go further. So, just for information purpose, that is why we need to, bring all these things together so that we can, in a very little perspective, see what we've been going through. Since February 2nd, 1st, that I resumed duty, there is no single hour that we are not working on Greater Lokoja water. But behind the scene, people will not know what we are doing. But the governor is saying, how can the people stay for that time without water? The first measure we took in that February the governor directed, was to quickly, because there was heat and the cost of even purchasing water by the citizen was very high. So he said he released money which we have executed, which is verifiable. We supplied up to 50 tankers of water to various locations within the metropolis as at that time, at different times. So we have records of such. Then the next was we ran back to the old waterworks because of the vulnerable areas of the town. Water and sanitation goes together. That is why myself, the Minister of Water Resources, Environment and Agriculture, they are three inseparable ministries. So we have to get to town, check the old waterworks, which has about 200 cubic meters per day supply, just approximately less than 1 million gallons per day, but most of the equipment there are obsolete. We have to quickly enter there. Within a week or two, we started pumping, and unfortunately, since there was no distribution network when Greater Water was constructed, it was the old distribution networks of the town that our people did their best to synchronize. So, and most of those old pipes were old, and the two reservoirs had been disconnected. Apart from being disconnected, the existing pump there is too small. They can no longer pump to such a height. That of Cinema has 90 meters head, and the one at GRA is about 120 meters, 130 meters. That is the difference in height from waterworks to GRA. So, but the good news is that we've been able to procure 3 hydro pumps. They are in the waterworks. We have the governor's directive to quickly go into it and see what we can do to reconnect back these two reservoirs, clean them, refurbish the old waterworks itself, and reconnect back phase 2. Because the new tank in our tank A in Canada Junction we are seeing on the hill there is already being connected to phase 2 down here and then down to Adakolo and town. So we want to see within the next 1 or 2 months, while we proceed, we connect back those the phase 1, the water can reach phase 1, part of phase 2, and the Lokoja Metropolis. So that is the directive we have from His Excellency and we have been working on. Because the intention was that after technical evaluation, we discovered, because in this process, you have to exploit a lot of things surrounding the facility itself. So, ordinary, we have 2 types of maintenance, the routine maintenance and turnaround maintenance. So, for ordinary routine maintenance, if that facility in Ganaja will be maintained, you understand, at least for 2-3 weeks we will not have water. Even if the facility is in order, we want to wash the tanks. Normal routine is it will take about 3 weeks, there will be no water. So the governor is not interested in that. He said he doesn't want to hear that. Okay, by the time we are able to refurbish the old waterworks, it will serve as a backup. Whenever we are carrying out either routine or turnaround maintenance, we can still be able to pump water. And the goal of His Excellency is this: even when flood should come, the flood should no longer stop us from getting water in Lokoja. That is the reason for this delay we are having now. Whenever flood comes tomorrow, that flood should not stop the people of Lokoja and environs from getting treated water in their homes. So that is that about Lokoja and what we are doing, and we are not sleeping over. But however, the core mandate of Ministry for Water Resources go beyond providing water, treated water. It's just an arm. We have 3 major functions. We are to exploit, and deploy all sources of water for public supply, for agricultural purposes, and for recreational services. These are the 3 things we have to do. That is why I say these 3 ministries are inseparable ministries. So, right now, with the directive of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kogi State, the leader of the Advanced New Direction Administration, we are going into dam and irrigation services, which hitherto we've not been exploiting. We are blessed with bodies of water. So, just last week here, we were in Mina for a technical session in partnership with the World Bank. Some dams have been identified in conjunction with the 2 river basin authorities that are operating our dams. That is, the Lower Benue River Basin Development Authority is covering the 9 eastern local governments, while the Lower Niger River Basin Development Authority is covering west and central. So, by the special grace of God, some of the dams have been identified for rehabilitation, expansion, and exploitation of the arable lands around the dams. And very soon, in line with the 32-year development plan for the states, some of these dams, especially Campeo, we're trying to see the use of that dam beyond irrigation in Mina. It's a project that will take off by next year, SPIN project, Sustainable Power and Irrigation for Nigeria. So we are looking into possibility of those dams that have potentials for hydroelectric power generation. And Kampe, Omi, and Osara has been specifically identified. So that of Kampe, that of Omi Dam, we don't have much problem with that. I think the volume of water being impounded there and the condition of the dam, I think, have satisfied all the basic requirements. That of Osara will have done, but we have some little challenge with Osara, which we will still will very soon overcome. Osara was built by the federal government just for the steel Itagwe and Ajakuta. You know, steel processing, iron ore processing use a lot of water. So it was constructed while we were in Kwara, and that time we are still trying to look for the record. They are saying they are permitting the Kwara and then Kogi State to extract 6 million gallons of water daily. And as at that time, feasibility studies was carried out. They were to use it for a regional water supply scheme for Central. 11 kilometers away from the dam, around Ogabinana, they were to construct a central regional water supply system for that area, which was not done. But we want to go into, and our lower Niger Basin Development Authority does not have the record of that dam. So that is the only glitch I said we are having, which we are going to exploit. So on rural water supply, we have an arm that is solely responsible for that, an agency, RWASA, which is an agency under Ministry of Water Resources. The government is trying to revamp its equipment, and very soon they will swing into action in exploiting underground water, that is the boreholes, for our rural communities. And we can assure you from the ministry that by the special grace of God, what we only need, the major thing we need in the ministry, we have gotten. That is the political will of His Excellency, which he has. And it's not allowing us to rest until we have water in our homes. So what we're expecting from Kogites is that by the special grace of God, first and foremost, we met a situation on ground which is not beyond remedy. Two, since 1st of February to 31st of May today, nobody in Ministry of Water Resources, or you say RWASA or Water Board, has rest of mind, because His Excellency, and I'm assuring you, even this evening, I know, until we have water to drink. He is not sleeping at all, and we are not being safe at our own levels. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man of approach. And the man has taken us through in engineering.
I've done a good report about the situation of water supply in the local government. Yes, a good report. When exactly, with all the works we want to do, rehabilitation behind these facilities, when exactly are you expecting free flow of water? Like maybe 5, 6, 7 days a week, regular supply of water in local area. And at what cost? All the total cost of the rehabilitation works you want to do.
That underscores the passion, humility, and compassion of His Excellency. This we know very well. You know, as I said, the two reservoirs, we are not supposed to pump water into the line straight. We're supposed to pump into the reservoir. When we reported that the two reservoirs are not working, the pumps cannot work, what can you do? Just give them water. You get it? So we just pump straight to the lines, knowing fully well that a lot of wastages are there, but people will have to drink water. We used about 2-3 weeks troubleshooting, tracing those pipes. We have records. The ones some were able to fix, others, we have it on record, we have community resistance. That If we fix those pipes, the pressure will not reach certain level. We mustn't fix them. They fix it, they broke it. We fix it, they broke it, we left them. So we are fully aware of this. As part of the rehabilitation work we are trying to do in the old Lokoja Water Works, whoever eventually learns to do the work will pursue all those things and repair the pipes, reconnect those reservoirs, and even the reservoir within the waterworks premises, that is the overhead tank where we put water for public to come and take. It's also, it's giving way. We will all do it. And mark you for the opt-in time. Instruction has been given to them in waterworks, old waterworks. It's free. If anybody demand money from you, please draw our attention. Then about timeline, it was I gave you a brief encapsulated explanation that no company has given less than 12 months. That is one side. That is for the greater water to be fully operational. Notwithstanding the fact that one of the companies, we are telling them, the government is telling them that, look, our people cannot stay. While you are working, within the first 3, 4, 5, 6 months, when we get the VTPs installed, that is the vertical turbine pumps that will be raised, and you can start pumping water out, or you provide an alternative way where raw water, the treated water can be pumped out to people. It's okay to be considered until we sign in the contract with them before we can. We say, no, tell us. We are at that at the moment. But if you recall, because of that timeline for the greater water, that is why we want to intensify effort on the old waterworks by getting bigger pumps, which we already have now. You understand? The reservoir at GRA is about 130 meters. Height. And we already have 3 high lead pumps that are having delivery heads of 140 meters each. So we are safe. And the reservoir at Cinema, the old colonial reservoir there, is 90 meters. So this pump can send there. So the only difficult thing now, which engineering is not difficult, once we are committed, we'll get into it. We are seeing a situation where within 2 months the contractor will be giving matching order to finish. But that cannot stop the normal water supply. If the normal water supply we are giving part of the town now, if that one can stop just for a week or 2 because they have to all the treatment lines, right from the intake to dosing to sedimentation and filtration, all those units in line like that will be refurbished in the old water works. So give and take, today is the 1st of May. We are expecting that whatever we are doing by the special grace of God, the old water works should be ready around July ending. But it will not stop what things they are doing now. And a quick one again, in the old water works, what will be added, we're going to provide fetching points for tankers. We're going to provide fetching points for tankers in addition to what we are having there, because when the place becomes operational and greater is not yet operational, people on this site will not have water. We're expecting that to reach that water to reach phase 1 when done. So, but why I don't want to give a specific commitment, water is another beautiful aspect of engineering, soil and water. That for now, we have the pumps, we have the reservoirs, we have the reservoir here. Let us see how it goes, because for now we cannot know the level of illegal tapping that was done on the main supply. So until when the water comes, see those illegal connections and then the leakages. Because when you have much leakages, the pressure reduces. So when we fix them, if we are fortunate, the water will reach phase 2. So, but we will do everything possible, even if it is by introducing valves at predetermined intervals to boost the pressure. We will all do that. All these things are being taken into consideration.
You have told us all that is needed to return potable water to Lokoja and indeed Kogi State. And you have also given us very big amount of money needed. Is there any way the state government is looking at the international agencies in as far as financial financial resources is concerned? What I mean is that, is there any way the government is looking from outside the state to garner enough resources to do this thing? Because I know there are some agencies that are even waiting for this kind of opportunities to help the states, even the country as a whole. Is there any way you are exploiting these opportunities so that can get enough money to do these gigantic projects?
The first option is the Federal Ministry of Water Resources coming in. His Excellency have already spoken to them, where it has a process. We have to do our own part first. This is what happened. This is how it's going to be done. This is how we want it done, and this is what it will cost. So, Federal Ministry of Water Resources will look at where to come in, even if it is to draw in the World Bank. That is one option. The other option is PPP. So the PPP is trying to be tough, but if that will be the way to go, good and fine. The public person coming to invest their money, then you tell us how you're going to recover your money without shortchanging the citizens. It's very important. How you're going to recover your money without shortchanging either the government or the citizens. So that is second option. The third option is government financing itself. So if we finance, if the company accepts, we spread the payment. How much can we pay this year? Our budget captures it. We continue the work. All options are available for them, which I'm not a financial expert. The Minister of the Honorable Commissioner of Finance and the Attorney General's office are heavily handling that aspect of financing.
My question is this: apart from Lokoja, though it's the state capital, there are other villages and towns within Kogi State that have been having water before. Some of them, even from Kwara, they were having water, and from Benue, but we don't have water. And what are you also going to do to solve their own problem?
I discovered that between 30 to 40% of water remains to the town, get wasted. What will you, as a result of broken pipes, what are you going to do to see that such challenge is
5th or 6th, I was already located. Everybody would like to either start from the hard side or from the soft side. So really, I got briefings and data about the condition of our facilities in the state. The day I came, I asked them to go and bring them. If they can give me, they give me. And we went straight to Okene, and within a week, the Okene water works started releasing water, and it's still releasing up to now. Lokoja and Okene almost will alternate, maybe on daily basis. If one side has, the other side will not. But Okene, where there is still a work in progress, that is for the pump that is pumping water from the first tank at Idiche to Okeneba. That pump has broken down more than 4 times now. We are still working on it, and we'll get it right. And worst, we'll buy another one. So, to add to that, there are areas I don't want to touch. Most of these areas that have water while they were in the former states of Kwara and Benue, especially those communities from our eastern flank, without prejudice, the Albert was there. The major problem we have there is vandalization of two types of vandalization of our facilities. There are communities where we have criminal elements vandalizing the installations, and we have the other form of vandalization which is known by the community. They know the vandalizers, they know what happened. Now, if I will tell you one of the communities, you'll be surprised. Either Waterworks, for example, work is ongoing. They are vandalizing. They put security people. They use boats to come through the river to vandalize. We have community from the east, I will not mention any community, where a whole integrated treatment plant was removed, and that community will say they don't know. Lokoja is not spared with that. When we came in, the first 1 week, water started flowing in town. They went and removed the armor cable in the high lift pump that is giving people water. I was mad, and I told them they are trying to mess with the wrong guy. They are messing with the wrong person. We'll get it right. When we went to Greater Water, also in the course of our taking, because companies continue coming, we continue going there. Who are you? What do you want to do? How will you go about doing it? What will be the cost? So we continue entering there with them. Maybe they thought we will come on board. Attempt was also made to remove the armor cable that is powering the water intake, the intake pump station. Because maybe they observed, at one point when we came, we started the raw water pumps and pump water to see, to confirm some of the state of damage done to some of the equipment. There was an attempt to remove the armor cable there, so but it failed. So distinguished gentlemen and sisters, we are taking inventory of all our facilities in the state, and we are moving on them one after the other. Thank you.